Yo, what's up, guys? This hockey team continues to amaze me. The Maple Leafs win back-to-back games for the first time since the post-Olympic break, guys, defeating the New York Rangers tonight 4-3, guys. What can I say about the Leafs? Winning tonight 4-3 against the Rangers, we obviously know why. The Rangers are in last place after this game tonight, peppering Joe Wall tonight with 43 shots. Joe Wall was absolutely incredible tonight, and it wasn't that long ago. The Rangers only had 11 total shots on net the other night against the Ottawa Senators, and to see them have over 43 shots tonight, guys, and to see Joe Wall make 40 saves tonight, it's incredibly ironic that the Leafs were able to win this game tonight, having only 18 shots on net, scoring 4 goals tonight, and beating the Rangers in regulation. And then, ironically enough, the Boston Bruins go into Buffalo on the second night of a back-to-back and beat the Buffalo Sabres in overtime. It's just what an incredible 48 hours it's been for the Leafs, guys. And listen, Joe Wall was great tonight. Leafs played a decent first period, take a 3-0 lead at one point in this game, guys. They were really playing well in the first period. Even though the Rangers started off the game coming out hot, 4 straight shots on net. Joe Wall had to be on his game really early on, having to make some really high grade A saves. Rangers had some great chances with a couple one-timers, had some good shots on net, but the Leafs take the 1-0 lead, the third line there with Michelli and Joshua, guys, up top there on the third line there, and Bull Gruel, got the puck in deep. Really good forechecking by Joshua and Michelli there. Michelli gets the puck in front of the net there. There's a little bit of havoc, and Jake McCabe is able to jump on the puck there and get the shot on net there to make it 1-0 for the Leafs. Really good job by the third line there to get forechecking there deep into the Rangers' end there. Good job by Jake McCabe to pinch there and able to get the shot off there to make it 1-0 for the Leafs there. And Shesterkin was on the ground. One of his teammates knocked him down. There was a bit of havoc in front, like I mentioned, but good on Jake McCabe to get a goal there. That's like his first goal in, I think, 51 games for the Leafs. So, another reason why the Maple Leafs have struggled this year, you don't get much production scoring-wise from your D-core. Of course, you haven't got much production from your D-core in the last 3 years, of course, but Jake McCabe is obviously fantastic. Love what he brings to the table every game. Leads the league in block shots, eats up over 25 minutes a night, guys, like he did as well tonight, So Jake McCabe is just a warrior, a great player. Love him on the Leafs. Obviously missing Chris Tanev a lot this year, so not having his line mate obviously hurt him a little bit at times. Had a couple bad games here and there, but Jake McCabe has been nothing but one of the most consistent Leafs this year, to say the least, guys. So good goal by McCabe. Leafs take the 1-0 lead, and the Rangers kept on peppering the Leafs. The Rangers were just the way better team, even the second and the third. The first was a little bit more even, I felt, but the Leafs just kept on coming and just keep getting shots on net. You saw Domi and Robertson at the zone with very much ease. Not a lot of issues at all. It was very easy for them to enter the Rangers zone there. Domi makes an easy little pass there to Nick Robertson to make it 2-0 there. Really easy goal for the Leafs there. Shesterkin's probably going to want that one back, short side below the right pad there. That's not a very good goal to be giving up for Igor Shesterkin there, guys. So, Leafs take the 2-0 lead. They're playing some decent hockey, but the Rangers were playing very good hockey as well. They were dictating play, had more all-zone time, I felt, had the more high-grade opportunities, but the Leafs were up 2-0 with very minimal shots. The Leafs had 8 shots combined in the second and third period, so there wasn't very much ample opportunities for the Maple Leafs, guys. The Leafs were able to get a third goal with their first shot of the second period with Dakota Joshua, with a nice little pass by Matias Michelli, nice little backhand pass there. Joshua snipes it with a fantastic shot there to beat Shesterkin to make it 3-0 for Leafs. Good on Joshua. He's been getting active. Had a goal against Carolina, a goal tonight against the Rangers. Liked what I've seen with this forecheck. Michelli's got another assist, so 2 assists for Matias tonight. 13 points in his last 16 games. Obviously, it doesn't mean very much, since the post-Olympic break and the way the Leafs have been struggling. But Michelli's been playing some good hockey, obviously trying to get a contract for next year because he's a restricted free agent. Joshua's obviously trying to stay on this team for next year. Hasn't obviously had a great year with the Maple Leafs. Had a bit of an injury, of course, in December there, guys. Hasn't shown what we traded for him, bringing that physicality, getting some goals, forecheck. He's been doing that a little bit more now since Matthews went down. Been fighting, obviously, fought Zadorov last night, guys. So, he's been getting a little bit more active, obviously, since the Matthews injury. Want to see that a little bit more. So, that's good to see Joshua get a goal there, get more involved in the play. And surprisingly enough, the Leafs would be up 3-0, and the Rangers were really dictating the play in this game, guys, with the chances on net, all zone time, odd man rushes. The Rangers were doing good things. They just couldn't bury a chance, but you knew sooner or later the Rangers were going to get an opportunity. The Leafs were taking some stupid penalties. Joshua took a dumb penalty. Benoit took a dumb penalty. We saw NYR get a goal wide open in front of the net there to cut it to 3-1. Then we saw the other penalty that the Leafs took, the Benoit one. And then we saw Zibanejad, score a goal there. Ekman Larson as well took a penalty. So the Leafs took 3 stupid penalties. I felt, Rangers capitalized on 2, going 2 for 4 on the power play tonight for the Rangers. So Leafs penalty kill wasn't as amazing as it was compared to last night, of course. But, Rangers get 2 goals, cut it down to 3-2. Leafs, like I mentioned, guys, it was a formality in that second period. They didn't do much. Only had 4 shots in that. Easton Cowan, who's played a really good first period, I felt, had a good game last night against Boston. Had a really good shot in the second period, with a lot of confidence as well. It looked like he was going to pass it, fake the pass there with a nice wrist shot. Beat Shesterkin, he hit the post. And Easton Cowan played 19 minutes tonight. I liked how he played in the first, was very active, drew a penalty in the first period. Forechecking. The kid's starting to get his confidence back, played 19 minutes tonight. Liked what I saw from this kid tonight. He's just only going to get better as obviously the last 9 games go along, guys, and going into next season. Of course, I think he's going to have a major role for the team next year, guys, and hopefully he gets more and more confidence as the rest of the season goes on. Clearly, you could see it in this game tonight. Had some last night against Boston as well, obviously getting involved with Zadorov there. So great to see the kid show his confidence and get more involved in plays there, and should have scored a goal there. Really nice shot by the kid, but just hit the poster, unfortunately. And that was pretty much it for the Leafs' opportunities. Had a couple extra shots on net there, but it was pretty quiet. The Rangers had like 17 shots in the second period. I was shooting the Leafs 17-4. I'm surprised the Rangers couldn't tie this game up, but that's why they're in last place. They can't bury opportunities. And they did the same thing in the third period as well, the Rangers. I was shooting the Leafs 12-4, but then you get John Tavares, who's on a little bit of a hot streak right now, 4-game point streak, 3 goals and 6 points with an absolute snipe of a shot. Beating Igor Shesterkin, getting the puck in the Leafs on end there, bringing it up the ice there to snipe it past Shesterkin there. What a shot by John Tavares. An absolutely fantastic shot by him to keep it out, to extend the lead to 4-2, guys. Keep the lead there for the Leafs there. But then, as we saw, Benoit, bad defensively. Zibanejad beats him in front of the net. There's able to beat Joe Wall there to cut it back down to a single goal, make it 4-3 for the Rangers there, guys, for the Leafs to keep the lead. But the Rangers, they continue to push. Joe Wall just stood tall, stood on his head, made some fantastic saves at the end of the game there, guys, and the Leafs found a way to get 2 more points tonight, and screwing up more of their draft stock, of course, for next year. It's like, listen, at the end of the day, did the Leafs have a great game tonight? No. Did they have some good flashes in this game tonight? Absolutely, they did. Joe Wall, obviously, being the biggest flash tonight for the Leafs, being the best player on the ice tonight. I felt him and Stolarz obviously being the best 2 players for the Leafs last night and tonight, of course. And like I said last night, guys, these goalies clearly didn't get the memo. They're playing like they did all of last year, standing on their heads, preventing goals, giving the Leafs an opportunity to win games. It's like, we don't want this right now. For Christ's sakes, man, I understand they're trying to play for jobs next year, of course, obviously trying to feel confident going into next season, of course, trying to end the year well, obviously, but I understand these guys don't give a shit about draft picks and everything else, but Christ almighty, man, we got to endure more than anybody, and to see the Leafs win another game tonight, going up to 75 points tonight, getting right in the middle of the pack there again, it's just really screwing up their draft stock for next year, and we are getting into a reality now where the Florida Panthers are going to have a top 10 pick and are going to be adding Sasha Barkov at the end of the season, of course, coming back from injury, going into the new year. It's like the rich get richer and the poor just get poorer. It's like incredible to me, guys. Listen, you got some good performances tonight. I thought McCabe was solid. I thought OEL was solid at times this game, even though he took a dumb penalty. Loved what I saw from Easton Cowan. Dakota Joshua was solid. Michelli was solid. There was some solid performances tonight by the Leafs, guys. But at the end of the day, the Rangers were the better team tonight. I don't know how they didn't win this game tonight. They were just all over the Leafs side. Lafreniere had 3 points. Zibanejad had 2 goals. Fox had 2 assists. The Rangers were the way better team tonight. Shesterkin did not have a great game tonight. Giving up 4 goals on 18 shots, only making 14 saves. That's obviously not a great game for the highest paid goaltender in the league, making over $11.5 million a year. So He had a bad game tonight. You know why the Rangers are in last place? They're not a very good defensive team, of course. Clearly Shesterkin has had a bad year on top of it all, but obviously that's due to the fact that the Rangers don't know how to defend. They had great opportunities tonight, the Rangers, to take the lead and, to get the win tonight. But unfortunately, Joe Woll stood on his head. He made some great saves tonight. Played a great game as well tonight. Joe Woll, him and Stoley have been fantastic for the Leafs in recent weeks, guys. After Stoley got hurt, comes back and bounces back last night against Boston. Joe Woll plays great tonight against the Rangers. There's only 9 games left in the season, guys. Who knows if those two are going to be here next year? Obviously, the younger kids like Quillen and Cowan are trying to play for next year. Who knows what happens with certain guys in the offseason? Of course, what happens with Robertson and guys like Michelli and Joshua. But guys like John Tavares, at $4.5 million, a little less than $4.5 million, guys, 26 goals this year. John's like right there for the team lead. Obviously, he had a bit of a couple cold stretches this year, but listen, John's been playing some decent hockey. Obviously, next year, who knows what happens where he plays, maybe on the third line, Leafs maybe trade for a second-line center, who bloody knows. A lot of question marks going on for next season, guys, and going into the offseason, but all I know is that the Leafs didn't do themselves any favors again tonight. The Boston Bruins going into Buffalo and winning tonight just really annoys me even more. We'll see how these last 9 games go, guys. You had some decent performances tonight. Really liked what I've seen from Easton Cowan, Aslay. Liked what I saw tonight from other players as well. Like Michelli's been playing some good puck as of late, guys. Clearly he wants to stay beyond this season, of course, because he's been playing some really good puck, guys. Like I mentioned, 13 points in 16 games. Joe Woll, even though his record doesn't show that he's been playing well, he's been getting peppered, guys. The guy's has faced over 120 shots in his last 3 games. So Joe Woll's getting pepper left and right, giving the Leafs chances to win games. But like I've been saying, this is not the time here to be giving the Leafs opportunities to win hockey games right now. So now the Leafs go on their last long road trip of the season. You got to go play St. Louis on Saturday, and then you got that California road trip. We obviously know who's on that trip, the Anaheim Ducks. That game is going to be very interesting. Pizzetta didn't play tonight. Maybe he plays in that game. Maybe he fights Gudas, who knows. St. Louis on Saturday, then the California trip, LA, San Jose, Anaheim, guys. Then we only got about 4 to 5 games left till the end of the regular season. Really unfortunate how this season has gone. It's been an absolute disaster. Hoping the Leafs lose games more than win them, Seeing how this season has gone, guys, has been really disappointing. I think we can all agree on that, And seeing that possibly we're about to give the Bruins a draft pick on top of it all. And, to see the Florida Panthers not be in the playoffs this year, obviously going on 3 long runs, not having their captain this year, and it's just really disappointing to know the Maple Leafs will not have an opportunity to compete in the playoffs, knowing that the Panthers aren't involved. And obviously this season has been an extreme disappointment in many ways, to say the least, guys. Between coaching and management, everything else this year, it's been a real disappointing season, to say the least, guys. But we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this game tonight. Not an ideal situation for the Leafs, winning back-to-back games, first time since the post-Olympic break, their 4th win, since the break, guys. Obviously it's not the best record, of course. We don't want them to get any more wins, but this team here clearly wants to get involved more, fight more, it seems, get into scrums more and show a little bit more effort and energy, because they all got embarrassed when Matthews went down, and it was the worst time for it to happen, to say the least, guys. But it is what it is, unfortunately. 9 games left in this season, guys. We'll see how the Leafs do on Saturday. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this one, guys. So like this video, subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go as always, guys. See you guys on the next episode of Leafs Unfiltered. Ciao, guys.